Hey YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. As some of you may know or not know, I'm a bit of a technology lover. I always get the latest iPhone when it comes out. Other things though, I don't like to spend a ton of money. So today we're going to unbox the Arlo Essential camera. When I got a coupon in my email from Arlo to get this for $20 off its normal asking price, I jumped on it. Because we used to have an indoor camera from a different Chinese knockoff brand, and it kind of died, and I was kind of suspicious that it was selling my data to the Chinese government, but what do I know? Anyway, so let's unbox the Arlo Essential camera. Like I said, we're gonna take a look at the unboxing experience, the setup experience, and then after maybe a day or two of using it, I'll give you guys my 2 cents worth of how I feel about it. And yeah, so let's get it started. Give the video a thumbs up if you end up liking it. Click subscribe down below. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters right there. And there's other links down below to help support the channel. I'm really bad at unboxing videos, so if you guys end up hating it, I don't blame you. But anyway, let's get started. All right, so now that we've broken into the box, here's essentially the camera. It does come with a little bit of a swivel base here, and it's wrapped in some really flimsy feeling plastic. Now, it does have a microphone on the back here, and well, microphone on the front, speaker on the back, so that there's two-way communication. The camera itself is fairly flimsy feeling. I hate to say it, but it almost feels slightly better than something you would get in a McDonald's Happy Meal toy, but to be honest, I'm not that obsessed with the quality of the camera because, well, I'm not going to be touching it very often, hopefully, unless there's problems, which I'll let you know in a day or two, like I said. It does also have a privacy shield here on the front that's up when the camera's not in use and drops down automatically when it is in use. And then, let's see, in the rest of the box here, pretty standard. You get the power cable, you get the block to plug in the power cable, and that's about it. Looks like some wall mounting brackets here if you need them, although I'm just going to put mine on top of a really high cabinet. Wall mount plate if you're going to put it in the wall there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the unboxing. I mean, there's nothing too crazy to it. It's a 1080p camera with the privacy shield, like I just mentioned. Motion detection and alert, which is part of my Arlo subscription as well. I pay like $4 or $5 a month to access unlimited recordings in the cloud up to, I think, like a month or two. It saves them. Night vision, two-way audio, and connects directly to the Wi-Fi, so that's another important feature. You actually don't need like a bridge or a central hub that these hook up to, which I think is really nice. It saves me from having to plug in another item and take up another plug, and it's just one less part to go wrong. But like I was saying, on the downside, you do have to pay for the cloud subscription to get more functionality out of these units, which is just another added cost, but nothing too crazy. So yeah, let's hook this baby up and see what the app looks like and things like that. So once you get the camera out of the box, setting it up is pretty straightforward. Basically, you start out by plugging the cable into the back of the camera, which was only slightly tricky just because it's a little cramped back there. After that, you're going to want to put the camera, in my opinion, somewhere up high with a really wide and expansive field of view, just so you get the most out of a single camera. Then you download the Arlo app if you don't already have it from your phone's Play Store, and it'll basically guide you through the setup process. It's pretty straightforward and simple. It's basically right now telling you everything I told you. Then you pick your Wi-Fi network. This part I've blurred out is just me selecting my Wi-Fi network and entering the password, well, looking up the password. After that, it tells you about the privacy shield, and then does this thing with the QR code where you just hold the code up in front of the camera and it automatically syncs it to your home Wi-Fi network. So in my case, it worked flawlessly the first time. I had no problems. Next, you're going to pick a name for the camera. I just labeled mine dining room because I knew that's where it was going to be. I figured it was the most straightforward way to name it. One thing to keep in mind with this camera is it definitely doesn't have the longest cord I've ever seen, but like I mentioned earlier, it should give you enough cord to mount it somewhere high up with a wide field of view. Also, the camera will run a firmware update generally when you take it out of the box. That's a good thing. It's always good to have your cameras on the latest software, so definitely go ahead and do that. It does take a little bit of time, but totally worth it. Alright, so I've been using the Arlo Essential home camera for about 3 or 4 days now, and I just wanted to give you guys my final thoughts on it. Obviously, as you can see, in those 3 or 4 days, I have not shaved, but that's fine. Anyway, so my thoughts on the Arlo Essential. If you can get it cheaper than the usual $100 price point, like I did, by all means get it. I would not pay $100 for it though. The biggest drawbacks that make me say that is the fact that the camera is not higher than 1080p in 2022, which is kind of, for a home security system, I guess that's not that terrible, but I feel like it could be a little bit better. Like instead of 1080, I wish it went up to at least the 2K, but for what it is and what I paid for it, it's totally fine. It's more than clear enough to see what's going on inside your house. And I'll throw a couple sample clips up here so that you guys can see what the footage looks like. And also, here's a clip to test the audio quality of the microphone and speakers. Let's hear what the camera sounds like when you're talking to somebody using the microphone. Now, this isn't going to sound very accurate on your end because your speakers can't reproduce what I'm hearing precisely, but let's give it a shot. So my wife is going to talk to us through the camera.
Hi, how are you doing?
Wow, that's actually better than I thought it would sound. Say something else.
I hope everyone likes your video.
Maybe I can make
it sound less robotic.
And yeah, so overall it's not a bad camera. It's just a little too expensive for what it is and the quality of it. So if you can get it for a discount, I say go for it. If not, definitely wait for one or see if you can find a used one. A lot of these things can be found a little bit cheaper on like an eBay or an Amazon, slightly used. So yeah, that's my review of the Arlo Essential camera and my follow-up. So make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Click subscribe down below. Special thanks again to all my Patreon subscribers, like I mentioned earlier, and my YouTube my YouTube members as well. So thanks a lot. Thanks for watching, guys.